we are officially traveling down one of the steepest unpaved commercial roads in North America. So last year it had a 32% grade. This year there's rumors that it's actually a little bit steeper yet. But don't worry, these buses can handle it. And I'm sure you guys trust me as a driver.
Yes.
Good.
Somehow.
Now these buses are actually pretty special. They've got a... Now I'm sure you guys have heard of four-wheel drive before, right?
Yes.
Well, these buses actually have six-wheel drive. So I turned that on at the top of the hill there. And believe me, you would notice if I hadn't, because we would have been going down sideways. All right, now each one of those tires we were talking about costs about $4,000 or $5,000. So we're literally driving around on my university tuition right now. Thinking about stealing one and bringing it back to Ontario with me. You guys think I'll make it? No? Now, some of us were just talking about today, they're worth $1.3 million. And they let me drive.
Wow.
Now this little puddle here is known as the Brewster Tire Wash. So I need you guys to get out and scrub real quick, okay?
We are on mission.
Now does anybody want to take a guess as to why we clean off our tires before coming out onto the ice? To keep the glacier, so we make sure to clean off our tires. Now I'm sure you guys are noticing some of the dirt on either side of us. We're going to talk about that a little bit more on the way back, but it's actually a completely natural process. Now I don't know about you guys, but I think it is pretty amazing we are driving on a glacier right now. Definitely not something you get to do every day. Well, not you guys. Now let's talk about what makes this ice so special. So let's compare the glacier to an ice cube. There's a few differences. First of all, the heat. So if you think about making an ice cube, you take a tray, fill it up with water, and a few hours later you have some ice. However, this ice is not made of frozen water. It's made out of compacted snow. So up on the Columbia Icefield, it snows layer upon layer upon layer. Those bottom layers have so much weight and pressure on them that they get packed in tighter and tighter every single year until they become ice. So we call that process fernification. It takes about 5 years for it to happen. But the snowflakes lose their pointy end here. So remember those 3 ice balls we were talking about? They're just up on our left side now. Those ice balls are the separation point between the Icefields and the Athabasca Glacier. So to make it easy, I want you guys to think about a big frozen lake. So we've got a giant frozen lake, and as it fills up to the top, it spills over into the nearest valleys, making tiny, tiny little frozen rivers. Now what we're driving on right now is one of those tiny little rivers. It does not actually have an official name. Locals call it AA or AA because it's in between Mount Athabasca on the left and Mount Andromeda on the right. But since it doesn't have an official name, I'm trying to get them to name it Dakota Glacier. You guys did know that I have 2 states and a truck named after me, right? Stay. All right, you guys, now here we are at the turnaround point. We need to just talk about... So the first thing is that there's a nice flat turnaround point here set out for you guys. We would like you to stay within this turnaround point. It is checked every single day to make sure it is okay to walk on. However, no promises about just outside the turnaround point. The next thing is, as you can see, there is nobody behind the Ice Explorers right now. We would like to keep it that way. If you pick a fight with an Ice Explorer, you are not going to win. They cannot see you if you are directly behind them. So especially with little ones, make sure that you're not walking behind the Ice Explorers, because if they start backing up, they won't stop. They can't see you, okay? The next thing is that right now,